Brian Pate here. This video is on the backswing and creating the correct rotations as opposed to translating or moving too far to the right or too far to the left. I got a station set up here. The green alignment rod is going to be the middle of my stance or between my heels. I got a 7-iron. The ball is going to be a little bit forward to center. I have 2 alignment rods on the sides of me, which are about the distance of my heels. So this is going to signify where did my hips start. So at setup, when we're hitting a golf ball, our pressure or our hips might start just slightly left of the green alignment rod or pretty neutral with it. If my hips are starting slightly to the right of the green, in the takeaway, there's going to be a little bump towards the right. What we don't want is the hips to continue to the right. If in doing so, the back's going to start extending up towards the target, and the backswing will look like my hips went to the right and the back went to the left. With this little drill set up here, I could feel that my hips are going to turn a little bit more center over the green alignment rod. If I grab this black alignment rod and put it through my belt loop, just so you could see the turn, if I'm a person that has my hips going too far to the right, you can see my hips or this alignment rod hasn't turned much. So we want to feel if there's a little bump towards the right that the hips are going to re-center. You'll see how much more these hips have turned. Also, I'm feeling like my right hip is going back towards this alignment rod on my left heel, as opposed to going towards the alignment rod on my right heel. So as I'm making my backswing motion, you'll see as I turn my hips more around 75 or 45 degrees, my chest is rotating all the way to 90 degrees or even slightly past 90 degrees. If I slide my hips to the right, now my hips are rotating less and my shoulders are going to rotate less. If you're a person that's set up here, and in takeaway, the hips are going too far left, too fast, we might feel that our hips are going to go a little bit closer to the alignment rod on the right side. So as I was taking it away, if I'm a person that's going too far, hips left, what does it feel like to rotate them a little bit more in the middle of my feet, or my right hip's going to feel slightly closer to this alignment rod on my left? As we look at the spine, we'll use this yellow rod here. In rotating, if I extend way too much, you can see that this is now pointing outside my right foot. We want to feel, as we're having our little initial bump and rotation, that it's pointing somewhere in between our feet. We don't want to stay flexed to the ground too long where it looks like I have a tail out the other end. So again, this little station is a good station to set up, or if you got a mirror or something to see, what is the body doing? We want to be in a position, we can start a little pressure on the left, and then pressure, this is me moving my pressure 100% from left to right. And you'll see my chest, or the center of my mass, is not moving. We don't want to move the mass way to the right, and we don't want to move it way to the left. If we go too far to the right, what's that going to do? That's going to make it harder to collect the golf ball. So if I sway to the right, it's going to be easier to hit the ground behind the golf ball. So we're looking for more of a centered turn. That way I can collect the golf ball in the swing. So again, we're going to set up to a golf ball, maybe a little bit of pressure left. I have a little bit of side tilt. I'm not straight up and down. And as I have a little pressure shift to the right, I'm going to feel my hips are going to re-center. You can see how much turn I get out of my hips and how much turn I get out of my shoulders, but my head hasn't moved all the way over here. If the head moves a little bit towards the right, it's okay, as long as you don't let the hips go with it. So use the station to figure out, am I a person that needs to feel like my right hip's going more towards this left alignment rod? Or if I already go too far left, am I a person that's going to feel like I turn a little bit more center or slightly closer to this right alignment rod? As the hips are turning correctly, Second one's going to be, what's my chest doing? My hips turn centered. Is my chest extending too much, which would be going too much towards this left alignment rod? Or is my chest not extending enough and going too far towards this right alignment rod? So after you get the hips working correctly, now it's going to be working on how much extending do I need in the golf swing from face on, where I'm going to look pretty centered as I'm rotating. There's not going to be a lot of mass or upper body moving one way or the other. So use this drill and station to walk yourself through what your swing's doing and how you want to look like.